And this is exactly why I told you and everyone to not worry after the Pittsburgh loss. Rangers win, baby, 5-3 over the New York Islanders. And this was a very hard-fought win by the Rangers. And I'm very impressed with this win. I'm very impressed with the way they're playing lately. And last year we talked about their win streak, right? And when we were talking about them winning all those games, especially in December, where they went on that, I think it was a 7 or 8 game win streak, whatever it was. They won like 7 or 8 games, and something didn't feel right about it. These wins, something feels different about these wins, and they feel more right, and they feel more like they're actually rewarded and hard-fought earned wins compared to last year. Last year, you're seeing them get bailed out by Shesterkin. The defense isn't good. They're scoring on the power play all the time. This year, it feels different. You're getting contributions from everybody in the lineup. You're getting quality defense too as of lately, and this team right now just looks so different from what we saw in the first half, if you want to say, of this, or if you want to say the first quarter of the season, whatever you want to say. They look beyond different ever since the Trouba helmet throw. If you want to say that it was that changed the season, if you want to say go on to line decisions change the season, I don't know what you want to point to as the season changer, but something has changed, and this was another win that just further proves it. Before we jump further into the game, be sure to leave a like on the video if you do enjoy, subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. But let's talk about this game. Very eventful game, as not only was it just somewhat high scoring, but there was also a lot of action when it comes to certain things. But first period, Rangers come out flying. They look dominant out of the gate. I think the Islanders got a power play early. They didn't even allow a shot on that. The first 2 Islander shots were some very weak shots. One was just one thrown on goal from behind the red line, I think. And the other was just a weak shot from the point. So the Rangers really held their ground strong at the beginning of this game. And they were getting some chances early, especially from that top line of Panarin, Zibanejad, and Barca Goodrow, which we later saw turn into Kreider, Panarin, Zibanejad, and Kravtsov. And then Barca Goodrow got moved down to the 4th line, which, thank God, that's what I like about or I like the decision, I should say. I like the decision a lot. But when it comes to the first goal, Anders Lee, this was just the dumbest goal. He just throws one on, and it goes off Ryan Lindgren and in. Doesn't even throw it on goal. He's trying to get a pass across the crease, and he just throws it by, again, off Lindgren, skating in. Romanov and Dobson with the assist. Romanov was the one who just dumped it in, and then Lee, again, put that on goal. Then the Rangers end up getting a power play later on in the first period, and I forgot which one this was because the Islanders took a mountain of penalties today. You had delay of games, you had cross-checking. It might have been one of the Mayfield penalties, because Mayfield also, I think, took a couple penalties in this game, if I'm not mistaken there. But yeah, I don't remember which penalty it was, but the Rangers end up scoring on the power play, and Artemi Panarin shooting the puck, can you believe it, from Zibanejad and Fox. And I think it was Panarin actually make his one-time spot, which I really like that the Rangers are doing that, because you're making it way more or less predictable by giving Panarin the option. He was shooting the puck a lot on the power play today, which is something that I also noticed and that I really like, because, again, it gives you another threat on the power play, and it gives you more options, and it opens up the opportunity more for Mika Zibanejad to get those one-timer opportunities. Second period comes around. The Rangers again start off very strong. Well, first period, I should say. Shots were 9-5, by the way. Rangers again played a great first period, played great defensively, played great offensively. They were generating a lot of chances. Second period comes around, and they looked great to start off the period as well. They were buzzing, and the Garden was absolutely electric tonight, by the way. Being in that building was fun. But the Islanders end up scoring first as Matt Barzal gets a breakaway. Kako trying to... I don't know what he was trying to do, but he's trying to carry the puck for way too long in the offensive zone, and Barzal breaks it up. Barzal then gets a breakaway, and he ends up, or it might have been Bailey that broke it up, but Barzal gets a breakaway. He ends up scoring on that opportunity. He doesn't miss. Beautiful move there by Matt Barzal, and that makes it a 2-1 game. Rangers, though, wouldn't take too long to tie this game, as Julian Gauthier, King Julian, baby, Barca Goodrow with a nice little flip pass up to him. Gauthier, he does the thing. He does the thing and scores for once, as he makes a nice breakaway move to the net, and he ends up burying that one. Again, ties the game there. And then the Islanders end up taking the lead again as they missed a brutal, and I mean brutal penalty. It was Scott Mayfield or Romanov, one of them. They missed a brutal penalty on one of the two. And oh my God, I don't know how they missed that interference on Kravtsov there. But the Islanders end up scoring within the same sequence because that naturally happens as Matt Barzal sets up Romanov for a shot, and he fires it from the blue line, and that goes in as there's too much traffic in front of the net for Igor to see the puck. Again, Igor was not to blame really for any of these goals. You could argue maybe that he shouldn't have bit on the Matt Barzal breakaway opportunity. You could maybe argue he should have stopped the third goal, but I don't really still see an issue with that. But how about Romanov, by the way, just for a second? That guy is an absolute clown. Absolute clown. He was throwing Bud all night, trying to act like he's some quality player or something. I don't care that he scored a goal. This guy's cross-checking everyone. He got away with multiple penalties in this game. The dude is a clown. You have Vinny Trocheck, too, giving him a little thumbs up because he took a penalty, which wasn't called. Another missed call there on Romanov. I think he blatantly took down Trocheck there, and they called nothing. And then he takes a delay game within the same sequence. So Trocheck gives him a little thumbs up. I love it. I absolutely love it. Let your balls hang. Shots in the second period, 13-8 in favor of the Rangers. Again, another good period for the Rangers. You could argue they got a little too loose defensively at times in this period, but still, I really don't have an issue with the way things went. Third period, man, were the Rangers cooking. Were the Rangers cooking. And they started off strong in this period, and it paid off because the Rangers got, from the fourth line, their first shift of the period, a goal. Ben Harpur accidentally got 2 assists on the night, by the way. Forgot to mention. Oh, they took one of his away, actually, so never mind. He didn't accidentally get 2 assists. He accidentally got 1. But he ends up setting Julian Gauthier up for an opportunity. Gauthier throws one on goal and off of Barker Goudreau and in. And the Rangers end up taking, or not taking the lead there. They tied the game because they took the lead later on, as again, the Islanders kept taking a mountain of penalties. And this is why I said in the Pittsburgh game, don't panic about the special teams. It's going to pay off. They're going to get back to it because even shorthanded tonight, how many times did the Rangers get some good luck shorthanded as well? I mean, they were all over the ice tonight, and this is why I wasn't concerned after the Pittsburgh loss, and now it's 8 of the last 9. But to continue, the Islanders take a late penalty, and I think that was Scott Mayfield's second penalty. He blatantly cross-checks. I think it was, I forgot who it was there. It might have been Jimmy Vesey, but blatantly cross-checks someone behind the net, and he's arguing with the ref for whatever reason about that. And the Rangers don't score on the power play, but the K line stays out there towards the end, the second unit, and they end up getting one as Keandre Miller with a nice little play in the boards there to break up the play that the Islanders were trying to start there. They were trying to break it up there, but Keandre Miller fires it across to Kakko in front, and Kakko roofs that sucker home. 4-3 lead for the Rangers, and you knew that it was over for the Islanders then. Vinny Trocheck buries the empty net goal from Goudreau and Lindgren. 5-3 game, and yeah, this was just a unreal. This was a very eventful game and a really fun game to watch as well. They outshot the Islanders in the third 12-5, outshot them in the game 34-18. They didn't give the Islanders a chance tonight. This game was way closer than it should have been, honestly. I mean, 34-18. That's tough. And it's not even like Igor again led into bad goals. They just had a couple mistakes. They had a couple mistakes in the offensive zone, and they'll learn from it. I'm not too upset about it because, again, it's not going to happen again. It better not happen again. But hopefully they learn from it. And, again, I'm not too mad about it. I'm really not too mad about the goals that they did let up. Again, one's a fluky, lucky bounce there for the Islanders. The other one, you broke up a play. And, again, credit to the Islanders. They capitalized on their opportunity there. And then the Romanov goal, which was whatever. I'm not too mad about that one either. So, again, it is what it is. Rangers going 1 for 6 on the power play. Not ideal, but they still look good enough on the special teams. I thought they looked good on the power play. My biggest gripe is when they had a 5-on-3 and they couldn't end up converting there earlier on the 5-on-3. They were passing way too much, and that was the main issue. Thankfully, they ended up getting that goal from Panarin, but again, I would have liked to have seen less passing there from them on the 5-on-3. Way too much of it. Face-off percentage 56-44 in favor of the Rangers. Special teams, like I said, 1 for 6 for the Rangers on the power play, over 2 for the Islanders. Hits 26-17 in favor of the Islanders. Block shots 14-13 in favor of the Islanders. 6 giveaways for the Islanders, 10 for the Rangers. And Panarin led a lot of those giveaways. Oh boy, he had a lot, which makes sense. Makes sense if you really looked into the game enough. But that first line still was great. It's weird. Panarin had a bit of a weird game tonight because he was turning the puck over way too much. Those 4 giveaways, you know them because, oh boy, were they brutal. And the Islanders got a lot of opportunities in transition because of it. But Artemi Panarin still had a solid enough game. 5 shots on goal. Ended up getting a goal. I'm still happy enough with this game for the most part, like I said. So not going to complain too much about the turnovers. Would probably if they ended up losing the game, but it is what it is. Zibanejad had a good game as well. Positive in the faceoff dot. 3 shots on goal. Got a goal, and he looked great tonight. And then Kravtsov complimented that line so well. Kravtsov needs to be staying up there in the top 6 with those 2. And that line looked so good tonight. They were getting so many offensive zone opportunities. They just couldn't end up burying enough. That's all it was. But they still ended up playing a great game. I was very satisfied with the first line tonight. Second line, the kid line, which they don't like being called it, but the AFK line, we'll call him that. Lafreniere had a pretty mixed bag game. He's been that way lately where you notice him some shifts, other shifts he hasn't been really noticeable, and you notice that he's a bit lazy on some shifts. But I'm still happy enough with his game for the most part. Ended up getting an apple on the night. Wasn't too bad, but again, maybe a bit more you like to see from him. Filipino, he had a pretty solid game, and he's noticeable each and every night. 60% the faceoff dot for him. Very solid night. And again, winning most of those faceoffs, huge for a guy like Filipino. And he won a crucial faceoff late in this game on the power play late when the second unit was out there. He won a crucial faceoff there to get the Rangers an opportunity late in the game there. So that's something that we like to see. And then for Kakko, outside of that one play, he redeemed himself. He redeemed himself by scoring that goal. Very solid night there for Kakko. Outside of that one play. So not going to complain. The kid line, you maybe could have got more from them, but they had a pretty solid night, all things considered, in my opinion. So, yeah, the third line now, Kreider, Trocheck, and VC, they had a pretty good night as well, I'd say. I'd say they had a pretty good night. Kreider, definitely a little invisible tonight for my likings out of anyone on that line, but still wasn't necessarily too awful tonight, but you maybe want to see more, especially with how that third line was clicking before. You could get more from that third line. That's what I will say. Trocheck got a goal on the night, the empty netter. 3 shots on goal. He had a lot. He did a lot tonight. That was great. He had a lot going on for him. 60% in the faceoff dot. By the way, forgot to mention a lot of posts tonight again for the Rangers. Panarin hit one. Zibanejad hit one. And then when Pajot hit the post late in the game there, my heart dropped to the floor at the Garden. But back to Trocheck, 60% in the faceoff dot. He looked good tonight. He looked really good. I'm very happy with Trocheck's game. Yeah, he does it on both ends of the puck. And then same goes for Jimmy Vesey. He had a very solid game as well, in my opinion, and drew a couple penalties as well, if I'm not mistaken. So very happy with Jimmy Vesey's game tonight. And then the fourth line, which should have got more ice time, but I'm going to give them a pass because of how much the special teams were utilized tonight for both sides. 1 for 6 for the Rangers on the power play again. 0 for 2 for the Islanders. They just didn't get the opportunities to go out there. But, man, Julian Gauthier needs to stay in the lineup over Sammy Blais. Look at the difference that it brings. And I was talking about it on the Ice Cold Takes podcast with C-Jets and Joey. Check it out if you didn't check that one out already. We talked about a lot of this, especially the fourth line. We talked heavily about the fourth line and that they need to get more opportunities. And when they were out there, they were dominant tonight. They looked so good. Barkley Goudreau, 3 points on the night, 3 shots on goal. Again, looked great tonight. Julian Gauthier had 2 points on the night. Looked great tonight. Only got 8 minutes. Johnny Brzezinski didn't get a point, but he still looked very solid tonight, in my opinion. Still looked very solid. You got to play these guys more. You gotta. Very happy with the fourth line. I'd argue they were the best line of the entire night. For the defense, Lindgren and Fox, I thought, had a pretty decent game. Nothing too great, but I thought that they had a pretty solid game. Yeah, not much to say with them outside of that. Miller and Trouba, I can't believe I'm saying this. Jacob Trouba had a pretty good game. Jacob Trouba had a pretty good game. And you know what? He was actually doing good defensively tonight. He really was. He had one nice play that he broke up where the Islanders had pretty good time in the offensive zone. He breaks up the play. Very happy with Jacob Trouba tonight. I'm very happy with Jacob Trouba tonight, actually, which is shocking to say. But outside of his shots on goal, which some of them missed the net, but still. And then Keandre Miller had a pretty solid game as well. Very happy there. And then Schneider and Harper, not too bad of a game for each of them. Harper was a little rough at times. I think he should have got less ice time than Schneider. I don't know how that happened, but it is what it is. And then Igor, he didn't get tested much, but he made the saves that he had to, and that's all you could ask for. That's all you could ask for from Igor. But now let's get to the questions of the night. BD3 says 5 goals in the last 8 games. Is Kakko breaking out? I think we're starting to see the corner turn with Kaapo Kakko. And again, it's mind-blowing when you give him minutes what happens, isn't it? Give him more minutes, let him develop, and let that kid line just continue to burst. I think we're starting to see a breakout. And New York Style 24 asked the same question. So to answer both of you, yeah, I think we're starting to see a breakout for Kakko. Salo says Kakko was determined to redeem himself. Love to see it. Yeah, I already talked on Kakko, so won't go too much more in depth. But yeah, I'm glad he redeemed himself too after that brutal play. Black Dog RVA says, what a chip shot by Kaapo Kakko. That kid is heating up and scoring some big ones lately. Full team win tonight. And so, although some fluky goals went in, the boys battled until the end. Happy holidays, Ranger fans. Happy holidays to you, Black Dog. And yeah, a lot of fluky goals. And it was about time the Rangers got a bounce tonight, right? Because that Barkley Goudreau goal was a little bit of a nice bounce there. So it's about time. It's about time a little bit of a bounce goes our way. But yeah, Kakko, nice little chip shot there by him. And this was a full team win. This was a full team win. I don't know what happened, but they look bought into playing a better game. They look bought in, and I love it. The Marvin Zone says, nice win, but we need to be better on the power play. I'm happy with the penalty kill, though. On a personal note, biggest win of the season. Huge win. Kid line was great again. No quit. New York Monatra's back. And Shesty was solid, though he was better than the scoreboard showed. Let's start with the special teams. Yeah, I agree the power play needs to be a bit better, but at the same time, I'm liking that they're trying to switch things up because they weren't forcing the Mika one-timer too much tonight. I really liked the power play for the most part tonight. And then for the penalty kill, yeah, the penalty kill looked great. Biggest win of the season, it's definitely up there. This was a huge win, and this was a statement win. This was really impressive. This is definitely up there for one of them. And yeah, no quit in New York is definitely starting to be a thing to come back. And yeah, I agree. Shesterkin was a bit better than the scoreboard suggested. Again, wasn't tested much, but I'd say he was still better than the scoreboard show. But let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section down below. Would love to hear from you guys. That's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching this one. If you did enjoy, leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. And I will see you guys in the next one. Let's go, Rangers.